Hello, I am Rogila, and today I would like to present a contemporary neighborhood of Garlava festival. As it is known, Kaunas is the European Capital of Culture for the year 2022. Therefore, as part of its program, the speech suggests including its biggest district city, Garlava, into the program. The pitch includes the overview of the event, the rationale for such choice, its relation to the cultural and special events industry, and further stakeholders' consideration with the main regard towards the host community. Lastly, cultural and special events' contribution to the wider events industry will be critically evaluated. The event's overview will be introduced using Goldblatt's 5Ws theory. The Contemporary Neighborhood of Garlava is an open-air local community festival, a part of Kaunas 2022 European Capital of Culture program. The face of the event is the nature of Garlava and the modern eco-sustainable public art objects in the public spaces of Garlava, created through the local communities and artists' collaboration. The festival will take place on Saturday, 28th of May, from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. Garlava has a tradition to celebrate its birthday with a town festival on the last weekend of May. However, due to the COVID, throughout the last 2 years, the tradition was postponed. Therefore, it is one of the motives to stage this event, to revitalize the tradition and to compensate for the lack of similar events within the area. Furthermore, it mobilizes and strengthens the local community, while also helping to discover the physical and semantic connections, the common identity, with the communities and local spaces of the surrounding eldership, fosters the cultural sector of Kaunas district, and induces sustainability and creativity within local communities. Moving towards its relation to cultural and special events. This event fits under the local cultural events typology, as it helps to create and support community identity, aims to bring local people together to celebrate their local area, is run by local authorities, is in the field of visual arts that include short-term exhibitions, and is focused on a specific art form, eco-sustainable art, offering unique opportunities for audiences to see it, and addresses the development of this art form by providing opportunities for new work submissions. However, as it is a one-time event outside the normal program or activities of the organizing body, and is consciously planned celebration created to mark special occasion and achieve particular social and cultural goals, it will also fit under the special events umbrella. Moving on to one of the key aspects of the event, stakeholders. As without their proper consideration, it is not possible to have satisfactory outcomes for the event. Here you can see Johnson & Co. stakeholders' power interest matrix with internal and external stakeholders to enhance their perception and relevance. Those in category A need to be kept satisfied. We will ensure that their needs are fulfilled by listening to them and making efforts. However, they won't be overloaded with too much information. Everybody in category B is fully committed to the project, and we will ensure that they are engaged with regular meetings and managed closely. We will maximize our efforts to keep them satisfied. Those in C should be watched in case their effort rises. We will inform them with general information and monitor them in case their role changes. Category D will be informed of the progress. We will consult with them in their areas of interest and seek help with details of the project. Let's examine how these stakeholders can co-create and why they should. Social events are fundamentally affective, co-created, and embodied experiences. Therefore, it requires collective action by a range of stakeholders with similar common goals, capacities, and practices through which these could be achieved. It is important to co-create with your stakeholders, as each participant can actively contribute through the transmission of their cultural knowledge, understandings, competencies, and influence. Sometimes, the returns cannot be readily measured in financial terms, such as stakeholder relationships, the level of community support, or overall experience. Having that in mind, based on Bowden's and Goldblatt's suggestions, the table depicts event consultation group stakeholders and events objectives and co-creation links. I will further discuss how co-creation will benefit their achievement, since most of the stakeholders are working towards the same goals and co-creation is indispensable. First and foremost, the Garlava's eldership will be the main co-creator of the event, as the event takes place within their district and is targeted towards town's community. Since they communicate with and grasp their people the best, it is only logical to create the event's design process with their support. Further licenses and permits will also be granted by them. In return, they will receive a successful event that will entertain and strengthen the local community while fostering the cultural sector of Gorlava. Furthermore, designing a successful outcome for the event always requires thinking about the health and safety of the participants. Since the COVID is still existing and appropriate measures need to be taken, event organizers, together with government and health and safety executives, will ensure that participants could enjoy events safely. Furthermore, police and local security officials are also needed to determine how to secure an environment to reduce the possibility of death or personal injury. Since the event will take place all over the town and will end after the dark, a safe events environment for the participants and art installations will be assured by local police. They also will enforce needed pandemic and other safety measures. Since the event will be funded by the government, to avoid any negative perceptions, the event won't have sponsors. Since the local community is itself both a host community and a target market, it has the power, legitimacy, and urgency as a stakeholder, making them a definitive stakeholder with a high salience. Therefore, the speech will further concentrate on them and their co-creation. Event success and sustainability rely not only on the ability to identify, but also to provide appropriate value and satisfaction for residents. Therefore, it is necessary to clearly understand the community's expectations and perceptions of this festival impacts. The key stakeholders' approach will be based on participation and collaboration principles. The local community will expect to be provided with entertainment, engagement, and meaningful contribution. To do so, this event will implement community-engaged arts, collaborative ventures between artists and communities intended for inclusive cultural expression, ownership, and direct participation of community members, to achieve a sense of belonging and to effect positive social change. It will provide residents with something to do, to see, to think about. The community will be surprised, entertained, enlightened, and revitalized. Citizens will be enabled to participate, to be heard, and to collectively express themselves, as a sense of identity, loyalty, and place-based belongings will be created. Furthermore, it must be aimed to comprehend and address stakeholders' concerns, as insufficient problem-solving tends to lead to dissension. Therefore, the event's communication with the community will be based on listening, open-mindedness, respect, and using a correct medium. Existing and newly discovered issues will be fixed immediately. Determining the positive impact of these events is crucial to the success of further events in general. It creates a positive perception and demand for events by creating several different impacts. It helps to gain local stakeholders' approval and acceptance for recurring annual events, for instance, the Glastonbury Festival. Special events are also a popular method for local communities to provide recreational opportunities to their members, as well as to attract an influx of visitors and tourist revenues, for instance, major London's musicals. Such tourism can create opportunities for cultural exchange, revitalize the local traditions, and increase the quality of life, like Mardi Gras in New Orleans. It is also a vehicle for developing social capital and/or community cohesion through ideals of participation and the representation of excluded groups in the public sphere, for example, the Manchester's Pride Festival. These events promote place identity and establish a positive image of the host community, which results in better competitive positioning, like Manchester's 7-pillar events. And, of course, they contribute towards the event's economy. Special events can stimulate business activities, create income and jobs in the short run, and generate increased visitation and other investments in the long run. The UK Events Report 2020 underlined that together arts and cultural events, festivals, fairs and shows and music events contributed almost £30 billion towards the economy. Those held outdoors created over 400,000 job opportunities. The summary of these events' impacts could be seen in the table, developed by Moscardo. As could be seen, it must be kept in mind that cultural events might not always result in positive impacts. Poor management could damage the economy, place reputation, commodify the culture, and result in over-tourism, which will establish a negative image towards the events industry, and further resistance from local communities. All things considered, for great success, the event must consider various stakeholders, their involvement, expectations, and how co-creation can benefit theirs and events' objectives achievement. Since the event is concentrated on the local community, The majority of attention should be paid to them. If managed properly, the Contemporary Neighborhood of Garlava Festival can benefit the local community with tradition revitalization, community identity creation, engagement, entertainment, and consolidation, local places discovery, sustainability enforcement, and further cultural sector of Kaunas district enhancement. Thank you for your attention, and here is my list of references.